So, Joe Antonaccio back again. Wanted to give you guys some update, but not so much of my life, but on some current news stuff. So I was thinking, so I'm reading through the news, why not go through some of it, let people know what's going on. So the top story I'm looking at right now is that the world seems to be against Donald Trump and his Gaza proposal. What do you think of that? So let's get some brief background here about Gaza and Israel. So Uh, anybody ever hear the Oslo Accords? Well, the Oslo Accords were what carved up the tiny little country of Israel, which is, on the world map's about that big, and carved it up into pieces where they could give out pieces to people who think that it's their land. Why would I say it like that? Well, anybody who's read the Bible and read in Genesis chapter 23 realizes that God gave the nation of Israel the land of Israel to the nation of Israel. That's where they started. So historically speaking, it's been theirs. Everybody else has come in afterwards. Now, the interesting part is that the rest of the Arab world is brothers to the Israel people. I remember Jacob and Esau. Well, that's where it all started. So one brother's still mad at the other one, 3,000 years later, and they want a piece of the land that was given to them. So anyway, let's talk about this. You may not know it, but if you've seen some pictures of what Gaza looks like, there's nothing there. There's no water. There's no electricity. There's very few buildings left standing. The ones that are standing are pretty much bombed out. They're falling down. It's a big pile of rubble. And people want to return to what? There's no home there. And the best thing to do would be to let the people settle somewhere else. Now, that's my opinion. That it also seems to be the opinion of the new president, Donald Trump. And I think it's actually got a lot of uh, good ideas behind it. I think it's important to realize that there's never going to be peace over there because the Palestinian people, which are not a nation of their own, have vowed to completely destroy and annihilate Israel. So those people who think about two-state solutions, you think about, well, why can't they just live in harmony next to each other? Because the Palestinian people don't want to live in harmony next to them. They want to destroy them. They want to kill them. They want to get retribution for their brother stealing their birthright 3,000 years ago. So that's one of the things you got to keep in mind. And, some people hold grudges a long time. I guess they're holding a grudge for a long time. Now, what would it look like? Well, go in there, we bulldoze the place, level it, and then start building a modern city. You know, if after World War II, after we had some devastating destruction on the nation of Japan for World War II, we went in there, and it's a very modern city today because it was built in the 50s, the 40s and the 50s. And that's modern by today's standards when you think about New York City or you think about Chicago, which is, built in the 1800s and late 1800s, early 1900s. So this would have a lot of positives. But before that can even happen, and people got to realize this, it's got to be cleaned up. And I don't mean just cleaned up as in we got to get rid of all the rubble and things like that. I mean, we got to get rid of the tunnels. We got to get rid of the people who lurk in the tunnels, the people who lurk in the tunnels who want to take people hostage. That's what we have to clean up. Now, it's not our job to clean it up. And Israel said, just heard the news conference yesterday, uh, Netanyahu said, we're going to clean it up. We'll finish it up when Hamas is wiped out. Now, for those of you who say, well, that's not right. Why would we support Hamas being wiped out? Because Hamas is a terrorist organization, and I'm not even going to begin to discuss what happened on October 7th. But no matter how mad or angry you are at somebody for what they've done to you, or maybe what they've done to your relatives, or what they've done way, 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 way back in the past, there's never an excuse for someone to treat human beings like they're not human beings. And what they did was exactly that. They treated human beings like they were animals. Now, when we go forward, what is the Israeli Defense Force doing over there? They're destroying the people who killed people, innocent people. But these are fighters. They're going in there, they're destroying these terrorists who are hiding in tunnels, who've taken people captive, who did it on purpose. They went in there on purpose. And when this ceasefire, temporary ceasefire was created, what did they say? They said, well, we'll do it again. As soon as we have the opportunity, we're going to cross over the border again, and we're going to do another October 7th. So I'm not really sure uh, where you can get the rationale for supporting those people. Oh, but what about all the women and children that are being killed? Don't believe the media. There's not that many women and children being killed. And if they are being killed, they're being killed by the Hamas people because they're the ones who use them as shields. One thing that has always bothered me is that when you take an organization that supposedly is looking to right the wrongs, okay, terrorist organizations such as Hamas, and they build their headquarters below a hospital, thinking they can't blow us up because there's a hospital up there. So what did Israel do? They sent out flyers. They said that within 48 hours, we're going to blow up the base that's below your hospital, so you might want to get out of there. And then the media reports it as, oh, Israel blew up a hospital and killed hundreds and hundreds of people. No, they blew up the terrorist headquarters that was underneath the hospital, that, by the way, Israel didn't put there, but Hamas built it there. They built it, and they always build things under schools. They build them under hospitals. They build them under populated areas. Here's another thing. You know, Iran, which is the source of a lot of problems going on in the Middle East, when Iran was ticked off about some military action that Israel took, they decided to launch a couple of hundred ICBMs at Israel that were mostly aimed at population centers. And what did Israel do in response? They took out military targets. So, for those of you who are uninformed and think that Israel's the bad guy here, you might want to check your facts. The Israeli people, the Israeli government, and the Israeli military is trying to protect their land. And the last thing I'll say about that is this. You know, in World War II, when we won, we asked for an unconditional surrender, and we gave absolutely nothing uh, in the way of concessions to Japan. And because to the victor belongs the spoils. Now, we didn't take over their country. We didn't occupy their country. We did do the humane thing and we rebuilt their country. And that was a good thing, okay? It made us look good to the rest of the world because we are a good country. The United States is the best place in the world to live. But what happens every time another nation goes in and tries to attack Israel from outside, whether it be the 6 Day War or the Yom Kippur War or whatever it was, every time Israel defeats the enemy, they have to give something back to the enemy. No nation on the face of the earth has been treated like Israel has been treated. Why do I bring this up? It's important to me. I see the disingenuousness of the media, the news organization, the anti-Semitism that goes on, how people are fooled throughout the country into realizing that, you know, oh, Israel's the bad guy here. It's not the Palestinian people. Listen, there are two kinds of Palestinian people: those who want to live in peace, like we all do, and those who want war. The ones who want war should get what they deserve. And those who want peace should find a way to go where it's more peace, where there's more peace. And that's what Donald Trump wants to do. So all I have to say about that is go Donald Trump, take over Gaza after it's been cleaned out. And he's a builder. Nobody better to rebuild a small strip of country than Donald Trump. So I hope you found this enlightening and entertaining. And until the next time, by the way, don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video. Thanks.